Hi, welcome to Ina's Kitchen, where we make simple but delicious homemade recipes. Today we'll be making homemade puff puff. Puff puff is a lovely snack, simple, easy to make, and loved by many. Very delicious. Can be made for parties, little gatherings at home, and even for your family and friends and loved ones to enjoy. So let's go. We'll be using 500 grams flour, 250 grams sugar, sunflower oil or any other oil of your choice, 1.5 liter of that, baking yeast 6 teaspoons, ground nutmeg 3 teaspoons, salt a pinch just to taste, and warm water about 200 to 250 mils. So first we start by sieving the flour just to get rid of any lumps or residues, especially if your flour has been at home for a while. It's likely to form lumps and residues, so you want to sieve that to get rid of those residues. So I weigh my bowl and I ensure that I press zero, so that you don't want to add the weight of your bowl to your ingredients, so you want to zero your scale. I've got 500 grams of flour. Now I weigh my sugar, 250 grams of sugar, and next I'll measure my nutmeg. You can use a teaspoon, sorry. If you've got a measuring teaspoon, you can use flat ones, otherwise you can use a normal teaspoon and just take heaps. And I've got my yeast, 6 teaspoons as well of my yeast, baking yeast. And next it's me mixing my yeast. I like to dissolve my yeast to activate it, so you can add a little bit of water and just make it into a paste or slightly runny, and allow it to activate and soften up in a way, and so that it is nice and easy to mix into your flour. Now I've got my big bowl. I like to use a big bowl to mix my puff puff, because my dough is expected to expand and I want it to have more space and room to expand. So I mix all my dry ingredients together: my salt, flour, nutmeg and sugar. Then I add my dissolved yeast and then give it a bit of a rinse, just to ensure that I get everything into my mixture. Next, I'm going to be mixing. I'm just to warn you, before you start, you want to wash your hands very well, because you're going to use your hand to mix this. So you want to add water bit by bit, not all at once, because you don't want to add too much water. Neither do you want to add less water. You want your dough to have that consistency of not too thick, at the same time not too runny. So you have to get that balance. So it's better to add water little by little until you get to that consistency that you're happy with. And that's what I'm just achieving now, and I'm just going to check to see if I need to add more water. If I do, I'll add little by little. So I'm just mixing it now. I'm going to add one more water to get that balanced consistency, just to get it to that right consistency where when you pull it with you, it drags, at the same time it's not too thick, neither is it too runny. So scrape down my bowl. I'm going to scrape down my bowl and get everything together. While I'm mixing, I'm squeezing as well to make sure I get rid of any lumps of flour within the dough. Then I scrape the side of my bowl down to get all my dough in the middle of the bowl. Then next, I'm going to put a cling film over this. If you do not have a cling film, or your bowl is too big to get a cling film, you can tie in a big bag. If you have like a big plastic bag, you can tie just to give the dough time to the yeast time to activate and the dough to expand and rise. While you are doing this, you can heat up your oven slightly. This one is optional. I just do that to fasten the process. I heat up my oven to 150 degrees Celsius for like 5 minutes, just so the environment is warm, because I want to have it in a warm environment, just to help me achieve the rising faster than it would be on the tabletop. So now it's ready will pop in that warm environment. 1 hour later, my dough is ready. In the meantime, I put my oil in the heat. I started heating my oil, and my dough is looking dry, lots of bubbles, and it is looking the right consistency. I pop an onion head into my oil just to get my oil to have that nice fragrance, that nice aroma. Yeah, but then once the onion is brown and really cooked, get that out. Allow the oil to cool down slightly because you don't want to put the puff puff in and it starts burning. So now I'm putting my puff puff into the oil. With this, it's easier to have a bowl of water by the side just so you can dip your hand occasionally because it can get really, really sticky. So now I've put all my puff puff. I've ensured that it is well packed so that the puff puff have enough room not to be overcrowded. However, at the same time, I want it to be full enough so that the puff puff can hold each other, provide a support for each other. Otherwise, puff puff is likely to flip back to its original position in which you dumped in the oil. So you want to put enough to have that support network, I would say. So my puff puff is ready. Puff puff, I must warn you, cooks easily, quicker than you would expect. So you want to do that because manage your time properly so that it doesn't get burnt. And then I'm bringing in my second batch of puff puff. And as you can see, as you're dropping some, the first set are already going brown. So you want to quickly drop them, put down your bowl, rinse your hands, come back and start flipping them over because you don't want your puff puff to get burnt. And I must warn you, you don't want them to have that deep brown color in the heat. Otherwise, it's going to be burnt by the time it cools down, because as they cool down, they get even darker in color. So you want to have that golden brown color, and you start packing them out. With my second batch, I'm struggling to hold some of them down because the pot is not full enough. However, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to sort out the ones that are cooked, get them out. Then I would try and get the other ones contained in the sieve in order to get them all having a nice uniform color. So now I'm containing them on the sieve and still holding them down under the oil to give them time to turn that golden brown color on the other side. So now I'm going to get everything out. And dude, tada, my pop pop is ready. Look at that. It is so yummy. Light, airy, and delicious. That's my puff puff. If you like my video, please subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you and have a lovely day. Bye.